I'm actually hungry, you guys. I don't know why I randomly felt hungry. You can use the skip button. Okay. Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's gonna be Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? It's horror. Like, right now, it looks like a dating sim, but weird stuff happens. Like, trust me. It's honestly one of the best twists I saw, like, in a game. It was fine, all went well, but it was rainy. Yeah, it was rainy here too. I actually hate that it's rainy. It makes me feel really lazy. Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Oh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Dating with weird things happen sounds like most of my date. Well, I'm not really sure if you're still gonna say the same thing, Danny, when you see what happens in this story, because I swear, this game is cursed. Like, Spade even replied to my tweet, because I tweeted that I was gonna play this game, and he was like, OMG, are you okay? Cursed game. And I was like, no, I'm insane. I love this game. Then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Also, how are you today, Danny? I saw the picture that you posted on my Discord, your cat. Honestly though, post-meal naps, they hit different. Even if people don't advise that you take naps after eating. I don't know, there's something about post-meal naps that just hit a lot different. You heard about this game? I actually really like this game a lot. I played this like back in 2020, and then I was thinking about this game for days because of the story. Then during the pandemic, my friend played it, like he streamed it on Discord, and we just wanted to see his reaction to the story. I swear, this game is cursed. It's not for the easily disturbed. Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki? She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. Yes, it is mentally disturbing. Like, if you guys are easily disturbed, I would highly advise not to watch this game because it's crazy. It actually touches on some sensitive topics, so if you're a bit squeamish or kind of easily disturbed by stuff along the lines of, I don't want to say anything because I might spoil it. Actually, I'm gonna stop yapping about how disturbing this game is because I might spoil it. Believe me, I can handle a lot of disturbing stuff, so I'm not sure about you guys if you have the same threshold. Because I'm actually deranged. You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Darls, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. Yeah, well, I feel like it's best that you have no idea of what's to come because that's gonna make it a lot more impactful as a game. Because I also played this game before, like completely oblivious to what's gonna happen, and I was honestly, I got goosebumps. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna go make some tea. Ha, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Darls, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. And it was nice to see how people had their own writing styles. So it told a little bit more about their personality. You already have nightmares, so you can take a bit more. Okay, so you have nightmares, but have you ever had sleep paralysis? Because sleep paralysis is something I wouldn't wish on anyone. And thankfully, I haven't had a sleep paralysis episode in a while. Which I feel like I'm gonna jinx. But they're crazy. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So, your poems will turn out even better. You always wake up at the worst moment. When it becomes too scary. Well, it's good that you get to wake up, but it's still terrible waking up from a nightmare because your heart is racing and it's like you're super disoriented. What about lucid dreaming? I have experienced lucid dreaming, but only for a short while because I got too excited. Like, they say that when you get to lucid dream, like when you realize that you can actually control yourself in your dream, don't get too enthusiastic, like get too excited about it. And it's true, because I woke up like shortly after I realized that I was dreaming and I was excited. Yeah, it is hard to fall asleep after a bad nightmare. I usually find myself being up for a while and I would have to watch something light to forget about what happened. And usually, like, I keep a dream journal, so I usually write down whatever happens in my dreams, like, as soon as I wake up. Because I like interpreting my dreams. It's a nice thing to do. It kind of tells you a bit more about yourself, honestly. And I wouldn't say it's a premonition. Like, I don't actually believe that dreams are premonitions. They're more like it's your subconscious mind trying to tell you something about yourself. And you know what they say about how when you see other people in your dreams, they're not actually pertaining to other people. It's basically you. Like, it's aspects of you in your dream. Yeah, dream journals are really good, especially if you want to remember more of your dreams. Like, if you struggle with remembering your dreams after waking up, I feel like when I started writing on my dream journal, it's a lot easier for me to recall what happened in my dreams. Unlike before, like, I would be up for a bit and I already completely forgot about what happened. You frequently lucid dream? Wow. I actually wish that was the case for me, but I'm a lot more frequent with sleep paralysis, which sucks because sleep paralysis is really scary. Like, imagine waking up in the middle of the night and you can't move your body, but you feel this impending doom, like something is out to get you. And sometimes when it's bad, I can actually like hear things. I've never seen what they call a sleep paralysis demon, like visually, but I have auditory hallucinations. Like, I would hear things, like I would hear footsteps or something trying to open my door, and it's freaky. Honestly, it's crazy. And my heart would just be racing the entire time. And the thing is, I can't even move my body. Like, I can't even get up. So usually what I do to snap out of sleep paralysis is I try to shift my body to the opposite side, which is a lot harder, honestly. When you're in sleep paralysis, you literally can't move your body, not even your hands or feet. So if that doesn't work, I also try to wiggle my toes or my fingers, try to move my hands if I can't snap out of it. But it's scary, you guys. Like, if you've never had sleep paralysis, good for you. It's so hard to decode your dreams. I would say I used to have an app on my phone that interprets dreams. Like, you would just type in a keyword, but you could also search it up. Like, it's on Google. You could search up, like, let's say you dream about, I don't know, a crow. You just search it up, search the dream interpretation. It would tell you a few things. And, you know, like, associating it with your current life situation, trying to figure out, why did you even dream of this? What is the symbolism trying to tell me? Hey, Annie. I like that you typed Dare. I actually like that nickname. It reminds me of that Gorillaz song. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great weekend so far. Yeah, it helps if there's someone to wake you up if you look distressed or you sound distressed in your dream. It helps a lot. Googling dreams. Honestly, you should try it because you're gonna learn a thing or two about yourself from Googling why you dreamt of something. Thanks, Annie. I don't want to shout myself out in my own chat because I feel like that's so self-centered. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Darls, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. That it was an accident. Well, it was a happy accident, and I would honestly just take Dare as a nickname. And it's gonna be copyrighted because the Dare is actually an artist, which honestly, you guys, if you haven't heard of the Dare's music, if you like LCD sound system, like indie sleaze type music, I think you're gonna enjoy the Dare's music. But I guess I would say his lyrics are a bit provocative, so if you're not really into those kinds of lyrics, like, the Dare might not be for you. Cats have nightmares as well. Yeah, I actually witnessed Alice at times where she would wake up and she would meow like this distressed meow, and she would just get up so suddenly. And yeah, like, of course, I try to calm her down. He just makes yummy noises while sleeping. Yeah, and I actually filmed Alice one time. She was sleeping and I can see her mouth moving. It's as if she's eating something. I'll try to look for it and I'll send it on my Discord and so you guys can see. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often? No, that's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. Thanks, Annie. Yeah, I'll try to look for it and I'll send it in my Discord, definitely. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Yeah, you know, Darls, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. Am I loving the game so far? Honestly, I already loved the game even before I started this playthrough because I played this before. And this game, I feel, is wonderfully written because you wouldn't expect that it's horror. Like right now, it looks a lot like a dating sim. Everyone's like, this is the horror game? Where's the horror in this? But you guys are in for a crazy hell of a ride because a lot of things happen in this game. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? And one other thing, this game is very dialogue rich. It's actually really just 100% dialogues. I would love to see a remake of this though, where you can actually move around. I imagine it would be something kind of like Yandere Simulator. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game, but I played that before. And honestly, it's a Darls coded game. And I imagine if this game was a lot more interactive and you can move around, it would be like that. Yeah, actually, I've been wanting to play this on stream for a while because I really enjoy sharing the experience with viewers, like not just experiencing the game on my own, but also sharing like insights with everyone else. I think that's what makes it fun to stream games. It does bring a different, I guess, experience to it compared to when you're just playing a game on your own. But of course, if you want to be more immersed in a game, I think playing it off stream, like solo, is a lot better. But, you know, I don't have the attention span for that, so might as well just stream. Exactly, like, expect that it's gonna be something that you actually didn't expect in the first place. Yeah, Yandere Simulator was an indie horror game back then. I played it way back. I remember I was still using my lag machine laptop. And essentially, you play as this schoolgirl that has this crush on this guy from her school. And she does pretty much unhinged things. Like, she unalives the other girls that actually take interest in the same guy. So it's a pretty gory game. It's not for the squeamish. It's kind of disturbing because that's the whole point of the game. You just keep unaliving other students, basically. And yeah. You have a list of your favorite movies that you can always watch, but only with someone who never watched before. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's always fun to see other people's reactions, even if you've already seen or played something. Just witnessing another person's reaction is really fun, and having that, I guess, conversation with them afterwards it's really nice because you get to relate and you get to talk about whatever it is that you wanted to talk about with regards to the game. Does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so we're gonna write a poem again. So this is the only, I guess, mechanic of the game. We get to write poems for the next day. So here are different words, like keywords that you can use, and they bring different themes to the poem that you're gonna write. So if you know me, I actually enjoy dark literature. Well, bold of me to say literature because I don't read books at all, but I really like horror themes, so we're gonna go for that again. And also because Yuri is the girl that we're trying to, I guess, take interest. So we're gonna go for the dark or horror themed keywords. I would say daydream, entropy, agonizing, infallible, embrace, frightening, tragedy, contamination, shame, incapable, graveyard, vertigo, massacre, disown, covet, disoriented, unstable. Yet again, a descriptive word for me. Dark, melancholy. I don't even know what this word means. Effulgent. What did I get the last time I played it? I actually don't want to spoil it because I'm trying to make it like a no spoilers playthrough, so I'm not gonna say anything. Another day passes, but yeah, I also still got Yuri in my first playthrough. Honestly, because I really like Yuri's overall vibe. I feel like if I met her in real life, we would make good friends. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. Oh, it's like joyful. I see. New vocab. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Darls. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Same girl, same. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason really. I just wanted to look at it. Oh. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Story of my life. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. These girls know how to play games. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. I guess you could learn a thing or two from these girls, honestly. And so that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Darls to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford, period. I swear, we have the same perspectives, me and Yuri. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right though. I did something bad and now I have to accept the retribution. That is still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes, so I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow, what was... a cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. What if she doesn't get pocket money for food like you did? Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you. But then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. If she doesn't get pocket money for the food, I guess it's up to someone else's generosity to give her the food. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even ask to borrow money if I didn't have money, because I feel like that's like I feel like I'm stepping into someone's boundaries. It's kind of embarrassing to ask someone for money. Sayori hugs the cookie. Geez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. Not unless I can immediately pay them back. Like if let's say I just didn't have cash, but I actually have it in my savings account and I can just, kind of transfer the money to them. You never thought of borrowing money. What you were doing is renting your Nintendo for pocket money sometimes. Well, that's pretty smart. That's clever. That's your first business. That's smart, actually. Because you don't do anything that much, really. You just bring your Nintendo, tell people that they can borrow it, and you get money. With like zero to little effort. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly clasped her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're gonna go through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. As for me, I don't remember my first business, like business as in I make money off of it. But I remember back in first grade, I would just randomly hand out drawings to my classmates, like without them even asking for it. I would give them drawings of SpongeBob characters. Like I would just randomly draw, like let's say SpongeBob or Patrick or Sandy, and just give them like a piece of paper without them even asking for it. It's like free drawings. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Eh? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Oh, where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. Am I good at drawing? I would say I do know how to draw. I do commissions. All of my emotes actually are by me. I used to have commissions open for Twitch emotes, and I did a couple of them. And I do plan on reopening them soon. And I also paint. So that's another thing. I love art actually. And you can see a little bit of my art in my website. I don't have a command for it actually. No, not the franker face and better Twitch emotes. I mean my personal channel emotes. Like all of them. I have a bunch of my art in my website and you can see a little bit of it. Drawing was I feel like I was very passionate about drawing when I was a kid. I drew a lot and it kind of died down in high school, but I picked back up on it when I graduated high school. I kind of focused on art a lot more. Thanks, Zanny. She's pretty popular after all. Hey, you don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. I feel like there's like some dust stuck on my nose. It's annoying. Asian artists always make the cutest Twitch emotes for some reason. Western artists is more about expressive emotes. Yeah, and I don't know really. I feel like it's... Oh, sorry. I feel like it's because we prioritize the art style more. Personally, for my Twitch emotes, I wanted it to be a little bit, yeah, like cute emotes. But I did work on a bunch that weren't necessarily cute, like a bunch of commissions that I did way back. I remember I did one for a kind of like a sports streaming channel, and it wasn't necessarily like the cutesy emotes. So I guess it varies and it depends on what style you're going for. They're like middle way. Yeah, because you know, I also want to kind of make it something that people can use for particular situations, not just for like the cute or like aesthetic sense, but also like so that people can actually make use of it. You should play something for us, Monica. That's... Monica looks at me. Hey, Oxy. We're doing good. We're just chilling. Day 2 of Doki Doki. And thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. And good luck on whatever it is that you have to take care of. I appreciate you dropping by and even just popping by for a short while on chat. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay, that sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Darls. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Oh, don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. Thanks, Danny. I'm really glad that you're having fun. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Hey, Yuri? Eh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh no, I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's... Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. Wish you had tea in classrooms. Actually, same. I wish they had like a water dispenser at least inside the classroom. That would be a lot convenient. Also, I just thought of something. Like, I feel like a fun way to stream this game is to have different people read different characters' dialogues. Like, someone would read Yuri, someone would read Natsuki, Sayori, Monica, and the main character. I feel like that's something to add a little bit of spice to the game. And maybe I would do that for my third playthrough if I were gonna... That would be ideal, right? Because it's a bit tiring to just read all of the characters' dialogues if you're just one person. Because honestly, I find myself catching my breath and having to drink water a lot more than usual. Like right now. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. It is a lot of talking. They love to talk, they love to yap. But honestly, I can relate somehow. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Yuri was gonna make some tea, so... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. Oh, someone's getting jealous. We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay, sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business for once. They said more words in one day than you did in a month. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Darls in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Darls. Oh. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. It's suddenly really quiet, you guys. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri, I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Darls, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No, wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? She got friend zoned. Yuri lifts her head. Darls, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah, shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Darls, do you like oolong tea? Personally, yes. Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course, I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Friendzone could be the first step to true love. Yeah, I guess in some cases, that's true. I know a few people who they've been friends for a while, but then they end up just being together, like even after years of being friends. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do when it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Darls. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Darls, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Huh? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. Wait, Yuri has back problems too? Girl, same. Well, I don't really have like back pains, but my back is extremely curved. Like I have scoliosis, and it's actually labeled as a mild case of scoliosis, but it's actually very visible. And it can be scary for some people if they see it. But personally, I don't really feel any symptoms that I have a really curved back. It's almost like I don't feel any pain anyway. That's okay, Danny. Like, I don't really have any struggles with it. It manifests and it shows up in my x-ray. And people get to be alarmed because of it. But personally, thankfully, I don't have any symptoms. And I actually had my first x-ray for scoliosis back in 2019. And thankfully it hasn't progressed because I had an x-ray just a few weeks ago and my back still pretty much has the same angle of curve, so it didn't really change, which is good because it only becomes a problem if it progresses into a moderate or severe case. But since mine is just mild, they just advise me to avoid lifting heavy things, and they advise me to do back exercises and exercises that promote flexibility and mobility. Yeah, it's good news that it's mild, but I honestly feel like it's a genetic thing because I think both of my parents have scoliosis. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's mostly because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Oh, and that's another thing. I have bad posture, you guys. Like, because I'm tall, I'm taller than most people in my class, like in all of my school years. So my tendency is that I hunch and I try to pretty much be less tall. So I've adapted to this bad posture my whole life. Well, I'm 5'8". I don't know if you follow 5'8". I don't know if you follow that measurement system, but I think that's around 173 centimeters, 74. I don't know. But it's a lot taller than most people here in the Philippines. Like, I guess on average, people are like around 5'3" to 5'6". Well, women specifically. 172, yeah. So I'm 172 centimeters. So, and I have long legs, as in I feel like I'm 80% legs, basically. And I have freakishly long arms. Like, it's a bit scary. You're considered short in your country. That's funny because that would be considered really tall here in the Philippines. Yes, I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough, I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy raider. Yeah, I would imagine you guys are pretty tall. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Because I believe Asians, they're not really like, they're usually just average height. Guys are over 185, girls over 175. Well, at least I'm considered short in your country. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides, as if in sync, we assumed the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now, I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally managed to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumbled with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. Meanwhile, here in the Philippines, I'm actually willing to donate pieces of my legs just so that I can be a little bit shorter, because I'm a lot taller than, you know, most people. And somehow I feel like that's what make people kind of intimidated, like, of me. Because when you see me here in the Philippines, like, if you see me compared to like other people, I'm like crazy, like very noticeable. It's crazy. I am taller than some guys in the Philippines. Thankfully, Legalize is a bit taller than me. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Darls, sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. Alright, Damio, thanks for dropping by, and I appreciate you chatting and, you know, hanging out as usual. And I hope you get some rest. Go ahead and get all the rest that you need, because, yeah, we all work a little too much sometimes, and we deserve to rest after a long day. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone! What? Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Darls, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Who should I show my poem to first? Of course, I'm gonna say Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Charles, this one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem that you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Okay, time to read a poem. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement, a rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. Ooh. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at a face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things that I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing. You also have mild back problems, but what is kyphosis? Never had pains. Well, it's good that you don't have any pains or any issues or discomfort, but I'm actually unaware of what kyphosis is. Placing a pillow behind your back. I was actually advised to do that as well. To sleep with a pillow elevating my lower back because my curve, it's actually an S shape. And yeah, they said it would help to sleep on my side and then have a pillow at the side, whichever side I'm sleeping on my hip. Upper back curving forward. Oh, I don't think my back curves forwards or backwards. It's just more like it's an S shape. Essentially, it just looks like a snake. Do I use a pillow? I try, yeah. But sometimes it's uncomfortable, and honestly, I don't really have any discomfort. So I just really sleep however way. Oh, and they also advised me to sleep with a pillow in between like my legs so that it kind of balances the, I guess, angle of my back. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've heard of lumbar lordosis because of the memes. Like, you know how people arch their back so that they look like they have a bigger butt? Like, there are memes where they put a picture of someone with lumbar lordosis, and I don't know, it's just so funny to me. Like, there would be just the most random memes with that. And people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Darls? Well, yeah, I guess I do. Well, I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. And I actually agree with what Yuri said. I think we should all embrace our individualities because no one is the exact same person. So embracing your quirks, whatever it is that makes you you, is really the way to go. Because you never know, like, you'll find the people who will appreciate you for who you really are. And there's really no point in, I guess, masking who you are and hiding behind this other personality. It's only gonna take a toll on you in the long run if that's really not who you are. And I guess it also helps to stay in touch with your inner child and, you know, knowing what you enjoyed when you were a kid. I feel like it can tell a lot about you and your overall personality. True, you can actually learn a few things from these girls. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things, writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Darls. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Okay, who should I show my poem to next? Monica. Hi again, Darls. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that, as long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. True, they express it a lot better. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright, this one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. And that's the thing. Like, honestly, when someone talks about things that they're passionate about, you can really see it and you can really feel it by the way that they talk about it. So it's important to also know what you're passionate about and, you know, keep in touch with yourself and really figuring out what it is that matters most to you, because that's what's gonna make people see who you really are. Basically, it's gonna uncover the true part of your personality. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that? You must be pretty into her. Uh-huh. You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. You should take some notes from me. I would say you should take notes from me with a grain of salt, because there could also be some things that I say that might not be the best thing to do. So I guess you should select. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust, an endless poem of meaningless. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. You haven't heard anything wrong for my points. Well, thankfully, I haven't really said anything unhinged yet. But I guess it depends on my mood and what game that I'm playing. And it's funny because I might say some really questionable things at times that I feel like people shouldn't really take advice. But I don't know. Most of the time though, I do like to bring things of value. So there's that. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see, it's still hard for me to tell what it's about though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Ooh, ominous tip, huh? Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? Let's save, just in case. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. Well, I can admit that it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good, but I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. Huh? What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stopped short all of a sudden. Don't tell me. Huh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know, Yuri would love this kind of just angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean... Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Who should I show my poem to next? Sayori. Of course, because she's the last one. Ooh, I like this one, Darls. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Oh, well, you want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Huh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? Okay. To an extent, I kind of relate to what Sayori is saying. Like, I like listening to music that is upbeat. Maybe it has cheerful melodies or high tempo, but the lyrics are actually sad and melancholic. I actually really enjoy listening to songs like that. Like, say for example, I think that's why I really like 21 Pilots as a band, because their music, it's kind of like this alternative pop music. They can have upbeat songs, they have like beat switches and all of that, but there's like a deeper, darker meaning to their songs. And not just for 21 Pilots, like I guess most of the music that I listen to, like if you guys don't know, I am a huge fan of the emo scene. I like listening to bands in the emo genre, like let's say Seosin, Circa Survive, those I guess more well-known bands would be like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, Paramore, My Chemical Romance. Like basically those types of bands I grew up listening to, because my dad was a huge musical influence and he also listened to that type of music as well. Like I really like when songs have like a melancholic meaning to it. There's just something about those songs. And my dad actually, I was asking for suggestions for my thesis topic in college, and he gave me, like, one of the topics that he gave me was how sadness can actually fuel creativity, something along the lines of that. How it's like, if you think about it, the most creative people have felt their share of sadness or have experienced some kind of darkness to create, I guess, their best piece. Like, I actually remember the term. I forgot the term that my dad used for that, but there was a term. Something about gloom, basically. It's perfect for the game, not for the horror part of the game, though. Yeah, well, you guys will see when it's the horror part. And I don't want to spoil that much, but yeah. It's gonna happen. Anyway, so as I was saying, it's like you get inspired to creatively work on things when you're sad. Like, personally, I wrote a song back then when I was at like the lowest point of my life, and it was so easy to write that song. Like, it's like ideas on ideas on ideas. I didn't even struggle to, come up with something. And it's just crazy how that happens. Like, somehow creativity is amplified because of a strong emotion. And I guess it hits differently when it's sadness. It doesn't, like, to be fair, listening to happy songs, like happy lyrics, to an extent, I have to be in a certain mood for it. But it really hits most when there's a lot of emotion, like, I don't know, like gloom. I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most, but sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Exactly kind of what Sayori said. Yeah, it can be used for such great things if we know how to express it. And another thing is, we have to learn how to express our strong emotions properly and manifest it in, I guess, a non-destructive light. Like, it's okay. It's like, honestly, it's okay to feel your feelings. Like, it's okay to be sad. Everyone gets sad at some point, and your emotions are valid. But you should also remember to take care of yourself in the process, and it shouldn't be to the point that you're destructive. You get what I mean? I have a friend who has hard times but manages to express it so amazingly through songs. Right? Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying, how I feel like it's a lot easier to create an amazing piece when you're feeling a lot of emotions. Thanks, Dorals. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in bottles, all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. That's pretty deep. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being so cheerful. And that's another thing, you guys. Honestly, the most cheerful people can have the most hidden, like, sadness or melancholy or gloom. Like, usually when people smile a lot, laugh a lot, bring laughter a lot, they're hiding the most, like, struggles. They're hiding the most problems. And that's why those people are the people that you should also look out for. Like, just because they look so happy and they seem really carefree, like, there has to be something going on, and you always have to check up on them. And they might not even say it, they might not even tell you, but you just have to be there for them, because, you know, you never know what, like, honestly, it's like we should always let people know that you're there for them as much as we can. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. And I find that smiling, laughing a lot, it becomes their coping mechanism, especially if they've dealt with a lot of, like, difficult times in their life, or they've dealt with trauma. So you gotta hand it to those people who really try their best to cheer people up and appear cheerful. So there's that. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times, but seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much, we're gonna keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets so we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually gonna be doing for the event. Oh, sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're gonna be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're gonna be having a poetry performance. Each of us are gonna choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also gonna let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Uh-oh. My stream, I feel like it's gonna restart because my OBS showed like a low signal icon. Hopefully it doesn't. But it sucks because it is the rainy season again. And it's been raining quite a lot, which I feel nervous about for my internet because the internet here is extremely unstable during the rainy season. Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm gonna be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys? No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kinda overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right, and it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's for everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously gonna be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're gonna practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, Monica. This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry, I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Oh, of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. And thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. But Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches the sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her, as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were so caught off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Okay, let me just take a water break because that's a lot of dialogues. I've been talking for like nearly 2 hours straight, you guys. And I honestly want to get the blanket, but Lena is so cute and cozy just right there that I don't even want to get it. Check it out. Look at her, she's just lying there. And Sadie is here with me. And Alice is on the desk actually, and that's why sometimes I pause when I read, because she would move around a little and she's blocking the dialogue. But she's just sitting here. She's like right under my second monitor. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. So, okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Darls liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Then next time, I'm gonna make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Darls. It's not like I can compare you guys anyway. Might as well let Darls lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki, it's fine. I might as well get it over with, but it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry I'm not really good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that will improve over time though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... Why are you looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she is still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Geez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too, it doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay everyone, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far. Alice is walking. So I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Oh, I think you guys can actually see Alice in this angle. Yeah, she's right here. Look here, Alice. And she's just gonna be chilling there. Festivals. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright. Also, I didn't know that you can stop it or like hide the dialogue by right-clicking. I just figured that out just now because I accidentally right-clicked. Alright, I stand up. Gonna need to give a treat to Kitty's redeem. If it's for the sake of the club, oh, and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, darls. You don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. Still saving for it. I know a lot of people are saving channel points right now. That's why they don't really want to spend it. They want to save up for... I know a few people who are saving up for the 24-hour stream. So, there's that. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori? Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. She has something on her mind. I'm honestly like that too. Like, I space out when I think of too much things. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day, Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well... Okay. So let's put this in the perspective of... Would you walk home with your best friend or your love interest? Personally, of course, I would want to walk home with my love interest because, you know, I don't really get to do that, and I get to walk home with Sayori like literally every day, so if she does ask me to do that, like once, I would. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful. Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. I feel kind of bad saying that to Sayori though, but, you know, like... in a, I guess I would say, in a subjective and realistic context, if this was actually me, I would walk with Yuri. You admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never gonna happen. Well, maybe, but I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Or, you know, like, she can actually walk together with Yuri and Darls. Need you? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry, everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her, but if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Alright, we're gonna be writing down our poem again. Let's save first. Defeat. Melancholy. Spinning. Ambient. Infinite. frightening, climax, time, tragedy, incapable, disoriented, disaster, after image, captive, unstable, empty, heaven sent, disarray, agonizing, eternity. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Hey, weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah, I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. It's kind of like the festivals that we used to have in my school. Like, I went to a pretty religious school, so each time that there's like a celebration for, let's say, a saint, it's kind of like they hold something special, like they hold an event. And I honestly never really attended a single one of those festivals because I would just skip it. Like, I would just be somewhere else. And usually on those days, the teachers would just make you write down your name in an attendance sheet, and then you're good for the day. It's just so that they know that you did report and you did go to school. But what I did before was I would just write down my name and I would just leave. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, did they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Sounds like you when you go to events. I guess I would say that was me during extracurricular activities in school. Like, I really couldn't be bothered to do anything aside from what's needed in school. Like, any activities outside of like my schedule, I couldn't be arsed to go. And that's why clubs and organizations weren't for me. Like, I was part of the music organization in college, and they would meet up like weekly. They would rehearse and all of that, but I never attended a single rehearsal. And there was just this one time that I just decided to perform at this event. I just told them that, hey, I'm gonna perform at this event because I'm part of the org. And so I did, with like, I don't know, I think I only just practiced like once or twice, like the day before and the day itself. So that's that. I'm one to be a bit impulsive. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Never mind, let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori? I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. It's amazing that you're willing to experience new things out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I really try my best to do whatever I can, and I do like pursuing new things, like any chance I get. I'm pretty much very, I guess, what's the term for that? Like, I, as much as possible, would like to experience as much as I can. Because honestly, that's the main purpose in life. That's our main purpose. It's to experience life as it is and make the most out of it and have your different experiences and also go on adventures, cultivate skills, and just basically living in the moment. Like that's what life is all about. And I completely stand by that. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Exactly. And another thing is we're not gonna be, I think I said this the same way before, but we're not getting any younger. We just keep getting older. So as much as you still can, while you still have the physical health to do things, go ahead and do it. Pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. Just go for it, because nothing is stopping you. The only thing that will stop you is your mindset. And honestly, if you plan on doing something, just do it. Really. Because if you don't do it, that's all the more that you're gonna regret things. Well, alright. If you say so. I weirdly glanced at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else, but the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Darls, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind, but I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Darls. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. Somehow it's kinda surprising how the main character of this game doesn't realize that the reason why Sayori is acting this way, it's probably because of what they were talking about the day before. When they went home and Sayori asked if he would want to go home and walk with Yuri instead of her. That's obviously the reason why she's acting weird. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. gonna drink water again because it's a lot of dialogue, you guys. And I think you guys should also hydrate. Like each time I hydrate, you guys should too. Honestly though, I should play more games like this because it's encouraging me to drink more water. Like, I don't drink a lot of water, honestly. I feel like I'm the most dehydrated person I know. And that's another thing that I feel like my cats adopted from my personality. Because my cats, I have to add water to their food because they don't drink enough water. And I get really concerned because I don't want them to catch a UTI. So I try to increase their water intake. Exactly, that's exactly what I was saying. Cats need to be forced to hydrate. But yeah, I actually don't really hydrate enough myself, which I feel like is the cause for most of my problems, especially when it's that time of the month. Like, I have the worst period cramps, and I believe it's because I really just don't hydrate often. Yeah, I also make my cats drink milk too because they don't like to drink water. Like, even if I have a water fountain, they actually just don't care. And yeah, I buy goat milk and have the cats drink it so that at least they have hydration. No, it's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with other people. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Darls. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny, Darls. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? Okay. So another question for you guys. Does your personality change when you're with other people? Because I feel like somehow I do get a personality shift. It's not so much that it's very abrupt and very dramatic, but in a sense that I change how I express myself. Hey Lottie, how are you doing? It's like, for example, I have this group of friends, and also since I'm from the Philippines, like Filipino is a language and it also shares English as the primary language here in this country. So people here, they know how to speak Filipino, they know how to speak English, but there are some that are more comfortable expressing themselves in Filipino. There are some more comfortable expressing themselves in English. And I have groups of friends that, you know, are on both sides of that. Like, I have groups of friends that express themselves easily through Filipino and express themselves easily through English. And somehow I see a personality shift within me, especially if like I notice it a lot because I feel like who I am when I'm speaking in Filipino is different from who I am when I'm speaking in English. Like there's this weird like personality shift. I don't know about you guys. Like any bilingual people in the chat, do you relate? Like somehow you have a different personality when you're speaking a different language. Some people bring the best of me while some people bring the worst of me. Yeah. I also notice how, I don't know, I have kind of this weird thing where I choose which parts of me I express more to certain groups of people. And it's not so much that I hide my other personality or like other parts of me, but it's more so like I emphasize whatever it is that I feel like could be more relatable on their end. But if the situation ever comes that, you know, that other part of me has to come out, like they mention something that it can relate to, then sure, I'm gonna share it with them. But usually I choose which parts of me I share with other people, and it depends on my friend group that I'm with. You still struggle expressing yourself in English. It's not your native language. And here's another funny thing. That's fine. I actually, like right now, I find it a lot easier to express myself in English compared to Filipino. But when I was a kid, I actually have no idea how to speak English. Like, I know how to speak English, but it's not like as fluent as how I speak now. And I would prefer to speak in Filipino before. But when I studied in an English-speaking campus in first grade onwards until high school, that's when I kind of switched to being more comfortable in English, because I remember in that school they would kind of tell us to speak English at all times, and if they hear us speaking in Filipino, like you would get told off. So I remember in first grade it was a struggle for me because I grew up as a kid expressing myself in Filipino, so it was a struggle for me to adjust to the whole English only campus. But as years went by, and with that English thing being implemented in my family as well, like because I'm the eldest grandchild, fun fact, and when the second grandchild, my cousin, was born, our family kind of just decided to primarily use English to speak to the grandchildren, because they said that it's like a lot more useful in a sense, and it would help more in terms of development. I don't know really, but that was a thing, and that's kind of why I kind of lost that fluency in Filipino for a time. I was just speaking in English. I expressed myself in English. I used to think in Filipino, like my thoughts were in Filipino, but when I did have that shift, when I went to that English speaking campus, suddenly like my thoughts were also in English. So, you know, and also another thing is there's a certain accent here. Like when you speak in Filipino, like people who don't normally speak in Filipino have this accent that is a bit noticeable. Like, people can tell if you don't speak Filipino, like, on the regular. They call it konyo. It's like there's a certain accent that sounds different from well, you know how Filipinos are, like, they pronounce things very strongly. Their words, they have a strong, like, pronunciation for them. And you can just tell when someone isn't, like, completely, like, a Filipino speaker. Welcome back, Oxy. No worries. Don't say sorry. So, yeah, like, when I was a kid, I was very fluent in Filipino. I didn't have an accent, like the Konyo accent. But when I went to grade school, went to an English-speaking only campus, and then this weird transformation of me happened where I just became really fluent in English, forgot about Filipino, adopted a Konyo accent, and here I am now. But in college, I feel like I was able to kind of get back in touch with my Filipino roots, which thankfully I did. Because in college, I met different kinds of people coming from different kinds of schools, and you know, like, it's some people, like, as I said, some people are more comfortable expressing themselves in Filipino, some with English, and I had to adapt one way or another, and thankfully I did. But it's not like I forgot how to speak Filipino. Like, I was still fluent in Filipino, but I lost that strong accent. Like, it just suddenly became Konyo because, I don't know, I was speaking English a lot. But in college, yeah, so I could still express myself properly, but in Filipino, but I admittedly am self-conscious expressing myself in Filipino because of the Konyo accent that I adopted, which I feel like it hasn't been that prominent recently, thankfully. Now I feel like I've gotten a lot better with taking away that Konyo accent, so I don't know, I feel slightly more confident speaking in Filipino again. I don't know, it's weird, you guys. Like, it's just this weird thing of mine. I'm self-conscious and I don't want to be labeled as someone who's Konyo, but I guess that's what I am. Our washing machine broke, had to pick and order a new one. Oh no. Well, I'm glad that's all sorted out and you were able to pick out a new one. Yeah, Tagalog. But I also know how to speak Bicol because that's my province. And I was actually never really comfortable speaking in Bicolano because, I don't know, like, I'm a bit shy when it comes. I'm actually really shy as a person, really. Yeah, my English is great because I went to the English speaking campus. But honestly, if I didn't, I feel like it wouldn't be this great. And also because of, I guess, the media that I surround myself with. So that's a huge influence as well. That's a huge factor. And yeah, of course, with streaming, I get to meet like different kinds of people from different places, which of course I would have to speak in English. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about my Filipino language thing and continue on with the game. Just wanted to share that a little bit. I know I yap a lot, you guys, and that's why this game takes longer than it should. Because that's just how she is when she's around you. I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? Yeah, I feel like with Tagalog, it's a lot more romantic to express things, not just in music, but even in writing. Like, there are words that you can't really express as well in English. It's like, it's a lot deeper if you use Tagalog in particular sentences when you want to put a certain point across. You get me? I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Yeah, Stupid Love. Of course I know that song. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she is keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary, but there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glanced around the room. Tagalog is so good for rap. Yeah, and again, kind of like to reiterate the point that I was saying about how there's so many words in Tagalog that you can use to express whatever it is that you want to express, and that's why it's so good for writing. Suddenly, I noticed Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. Right? I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves, but if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's not really that big of a deal, but I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me, so I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, that's quite romantic. Eh? Sorry, I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Ah, I see. Then perhaps it's unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Also, you guys, is there any language that you want to learn, but you kind of struggle with, or you just haven't had the time to completely lock in? Because for me, I feel like a language that I really want to learn is Japanese. Because I don't know, I feel like it's such an interesting language, and even Nihongo, even writing in Japanese. You want to learn them all, but your mind is really not capable anymore. You usually struggle with all languages. Yeah, I guess it's really hard to learn a new language, especially if you have a lot of things going on. And in college, I did take up French class, but I actually didn't learn that much from it because I wasn't really focusing that much. But yeah, Japanese is a language that I really want to learn. And Spanish too, although somehow I get to understand a bit of Spanish because, you know, Tagalog kind of has a few words that were adopted from the Spanish language, so it's a lot easier to kind of learn it. Yeah, Japanese, I hear from a lot of people that it's pretty hard to learn, but I really want to learn how to speak in Japanese. You're immune to French. As a kid, languages just stuck to you like glue, but that song gone. That's cool. I mean, I wish it was that easy, but I've never actually taken like a full like language class apart from in college when I took French. Yeah, I tried Duolingo, but I don't know. I feel like it didn't really do that much for me. Like, I tried Duolingo for Spanish, but I guess it was fine. I learned a few things, but I feel like I would need a more extensive way to learn a language. And I don't really know, like maybe actually speaking with people who are fluent in that language would help. But yeah, it would be cool to learn more languages. Yeah, exactly. It's not school. It's not the best way to learn a language. It's to actually be there. Yeah, it would be nice to take up classes. But then again, like, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like with classes, I feel like I can't really 100% lock in because I got a lot of things going on, like work and everything. And perhaps it's unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings, or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Darls. The world is full of meaning, often hidden beneath plain sight, and there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. That's true. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head, and she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess, but you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. I completely agree with what she said about how some people don't really know things about themselves, like, until it manifests in some way. I agree. And usually our subconscious mind reveals things about ourselves, and I think that's one of our purposes in life. It's to kind of reconnect with yourself and get to know who you really are, like in the deepest level. Because honestly, we lose ourselves in a lot of phases in our lives. Like, life happens, we go through a lot of experiences, and we lose some parts of ourselves within that. And I guess the point of living is just to kind of reconnect with those lost parts of yourself. Even just traveling to a place you don't know much. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like it's a lot easier and a lot more helpful to learn a language when you're there. You learned some good stuff, but at the end of it all, easily forgotten. And yeah, practice is super important. I think it's a really essential part of learning a language. Like, if you don't practice consistently, it's gonna be easy to forget a language. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it, yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. ... Okay, everyone, after some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Who should I show my poem to first? I want to show it to Sayori, just because. Yeah, associating objects around you with a word is a good start. Like, learning simple words and phrases are a good sign that you're learning. I mean, like, remembering them and applying it to the real world, in a sense. Like, when you see something, like, let's say you see an apple and you know how to say apple in another language, like manzanas or something. That's like a good start, because at least you're recalling things. A bit of you, Tarzan, me, Jane. Exactly. Like, it takes a bit of practice, yeah. And it's normal to make mistakes when you're learning a language, but the most important thing is to just keep at it and keep practicing. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. Huh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant though, but it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy, and you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Darls. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright, just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now, if you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. Darls, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling, I'm so glad I got a chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Girls, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing, inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just know would make a really good friend. Okay, you guys. So what are your thoughts on going out by yourself? Like taking yourself out on dates, going to the mall alone. Like, do you feel awkward doing that? Or is it something that you feel comfortable doing? Because personally, I am very much comfortable doing things on my own, like going to the mall, taking myself out on a date, eating at a restaurant alone. I feel like it's a good way to unwind and I guess reconnect with yourself really. And also, you know, sometimes you just have to. And at the end of the day, nobody really cares what you're doing. Like, people only care about themselves. Like, they don't really care about what this stranger is doing. Like, they won't even remember you after a few hours. Like, they'll just shrug it off, really. You're so scared going anywhere by myself, not even in danger, just scared that you're gonna see someone you know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people get anxious because they don't want people that they know to see them alone in public. But honestly, being comfortable with yourself, like being alone in restaurants, that's like a powerful thing, because it's like, you know, that you're confident in yourself, that you can do these things, you know. And what others assume about you, what others think about you, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like, honestly, people, they won't even think about you like the next hour. So it's like they are very self-focused. Like, honestly, I feel like personally, even me, like, I would say I think a lot about myself and basically what goes on, what am I doing, why am I doing these things, and contemplating every action that I do. I feel like that's what everyone else does too. So shouldn't feel really like scared or anxious to see other people or have other people see that you're all alone. I mean, of course, as a girl, it's also different. There's also a danger with going out alone, especially at night, and especially if nobody knows that you're there. That's like a huge, like, it's like calling for danger. But yeah, you should somehow learn to be comfortable doing things by yourself. Try it one time. Try taking yourself out on a date. Sometimes it's really relaxing to do that. You went out to the mall by yourself and it was honestly chill, so you're getting used to it slowly. Yeah, honestly, it's just baby steps. Of course, You can't really expect yourself to switch up. Like suddenly you feel confident and you don't really care that you're going out by yourself. It's like a gradual type of growth. As you keep doing it, you get more comfortable doing it. You get me? Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Darls. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Darls. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others, but that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends, and I would say I've had at least one success, wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands, but this time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want me to show your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ghost Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I'm too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving out an understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems being usually cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me, so thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is, once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something, but I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Also, you guys, I've been thinking about this. It's funny how we usually restrict ourselves, or we usually feel scared of doing things because of the fear of what other people will think about us. Like, honestly, when you want to do something, just go for it. Like, who cares what other people think? Like, as long as it makes you happy, as long as you're passionate about it, just go for it. Who cares if they think you're cringe? What matters is you're working on yourself. You're taking a step. You're improving yourself. And that's what matters most. So if you feel scared doing something, like, it's okay to feel scared, feel it, but also do it. Like, take that step. Hey, Legalize, how are you doing? Okay, let's show the poem to Monica. Hi, Darls. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it will turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. What are you up to right now, Legalize? Walking your cat on the leash is what you do. You don't care if nobody... I wish I could do that, but I'm traumatized. I used to take my cats out and I used to walk them. I put a leash on them. But I had this really traumatic experience with Sadie where she was able to wiggle out of her leash and she was gone for like a day and a half. And it was the most difficult time of my life, honestly. Like, we would look for her everywhere, and we would go to our neighbors' houses or the houses near our house and ask if they've seen Sadie around and to let us know if she was there. But then she ended up just going back to our house. Like, we put a food bowl and she ate the food, and that gave us an idea to put the food bowl in a carrier that's covered with a towel so that she doesn't know if someone's approaching. So that's how we got her back. Like, we lured her with the food bowl. She went inside the carrier and then Legalized, shut the door of the carrier, and we got her back. But anyway, that's why I stopped walking my cats. I used to confidently do that, like thinking that that wouldn't happen, but it did. So after that, I just never tried again. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Your style's gotten so refined, Darls. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. That's good. That's good that Mazan, I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, Mazan goes to you when you call him. I guess for my cats, they do respond when I call out their names, but like, they just are very curious of the outside world. Well, except for Lena. So any chance that they get to step outside, it's like they would. Like Alice, whenever I get their food, like whenever it's mealtime, she would want to go with me, and I would let her because she knows where to go anyway. Like, Alice is pretty easy to manage when it comes to, walking outside the house. I even used to let Alice out in the garden without a leash and she would be fine. Like, she wouldn't run away. But Sadie, I feel like she's a little bit skittish. So when she hears some noises or, something that triggers her, she has a tendency of running. And also, I think it's because she grew up in the outside world, which makes her a bit braver to run away and do her own thing outside. Meanwhile, Lena, she completely doesn't want to step out. Like, I would have to even carry her outside if I wanted her to go outside. She just has this like mentality of, I'm comfortable here, so I'm gonna stay here. Like, I'm not even gonna bother. And Lena is very skittish. Like, the slightest noise, or if she sees like someone's approaching, someone that she doesn't know, she's gonna hide. So that's my cat's personalities. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Wait, this sounds a lot like what you said earlier, Danny. Like, you were saying how these girls talk so much more than you do in the past year. It kind of sounds like that. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. Oh, that's... It's awfully suspicious, spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, Alright, I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up, so if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be... I missed the other dialogue. True Cat's personality indeed. Yeah, honestly, Lena. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm gonna hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth, a lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more. Gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless, but a hand catches me between the thumb and the forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I'm thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. I agree. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? That's so true. Like, nobody knows everything. Like, we know nothing, if we're being honest. Because if we actually get to learn everything, like, what's the point? There's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. Okay, so what Monica just said, it kind of touches up on what I was saying earlier, how I guess sadness fuels creativity. Exactly, nobody knows everything. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. What is Kitty doing? They're probably playing. Actually, Sadie just disturbed Lena from her slumber. So now Lena is angry. I think Sadie wants to play. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki, the last one. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even. Next. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second, is it just me or did you just say something strange just now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right, you deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez, why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Oh, stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Ooh. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Huh. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Huh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right, Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them and different flavors. Can you handle all that by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted, and as for myself, I'm gonna be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them, and as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now, Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? I'm about that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Darls. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they gonna respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's gonna give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Darls may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're making excuses for Darls to... Well, what are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Darls to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said, I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Can we just settle this already? Yeah, Darls, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm gonna go with... Yuri. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Darls? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah, I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Darls? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No? That's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Darls picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so I get it. I'm kind of surprised though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that, but you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her comfort zone, but I began to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing, but I'm gonna say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are gonna be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best, but with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. I turn around. Sorry, I realized that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yeah. Alright then, Yuri and I exchanged phone numbers. Okay, then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Eh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense, but if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright, in that case, it won't be a problem. I decide not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Darls. I think that we'll make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do, but... Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right? Huh? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I wanted to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. Alright, I'm gonna drink water first, you guys. All this dialogue is making me slightly lightheaded. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I have gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. True. And hopefully I don't lose my voice. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell, but until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything. But I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said. Is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Darls. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? That's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course, but I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. So it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing after you left on Friday. When something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, darls. Eh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grabbed Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, darls. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, darls? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days, I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me? Excuse me. I yawned. It's almost 1 a.m. The entire time that I've known her, did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Huh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little bit better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, darls. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. Hydrate, you guys. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Darls, there's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And how you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm gonna accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Darls, Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please, never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Darls, Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Darls, Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Darls. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does, so I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, right? Yeah, how would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want, I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah, Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't! Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry, I don't know if that would be very good for me to do. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay, don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright, I look forward to it. Okay, you guys. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. I'm gonna save it here first. And I'm pretty much gonna cut it first here and continue tomorrow. Also, I might be streaming a little bit earlier tomorrow, so stay tuned just so that we can finish this game. I know I kind of didn't calculate the hours for this game well enough that it's extending to Sunday, but we'll be trying to finish this game tomorrow and we'll be playing it before Killer Frequency.